In Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 4, which was the Chrome season, we were introduced to this character right here, whose name is Byte. And although Byte is known as one of the most ugliest characters in Fortnite, he is also known as one of the most mysterious and ominous. But why? Well, you see, Byte has extreme ties with the Last Reality, who were the main threat in that period of time, sending the Herald down to raft the island with chrome, in which chrome is a very powerful source of liquid that the Last Reality use as a weapon, as chrome takes over. And someone else who has powers of this chrome is Byte, with him having chrome hands. And one of his chrome hands actually turns into a chrome scythe. But how does Byte get this ability? Well, he has to complete trials and then talk to someone by a TV. And doing this will help Byte progress as a true warrior of the Last Reality. But who does Byte talk to? Well, they're known as the Nothing.
We see you're finally prepared to face your fate. But first, you must prove yourself. The same forces that will destroy the others will raise you up. Will you continue?
Now, why am I talking about the Nothing in 2025, where right now this new wolf villain is raising tax all across the island, and outlaws are stealing from him? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but this guy raising the tax, who is also known as Fletcher Kane, also known as the Baron, is the main villain of this season. But I don't think he's the only main villain. But before I explain, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and why not even join my Discord server? The link is down in the description below. And I don't usually say this, but I need you guys to watch until the end of this video, as very soon a lot of dark and very interesting stuff will be going on the current Chapter 6 island of Oninoshima, and it could all relate to the Nothing. But what or who actually is the Nothing? Well, you see, the Nothing is literally when there was nothing. The Nothing was created before the 0 point. But when the 0 point was created and new realities started to form, what was there all before, which was the Nothing, grew really angry and just wanted there to be nothing. I know it sounds all really confusing, but you'll get the sense of it. The Nothing is also the entity that formed the army of the Last Reality, and the Nothing uses the Last Reality to destroy and completely annihilate other realities. So if you think about it, the Nothing is kind of like a code word for the Last Reality. But the Nothing is also the cosmic entity ruling it. There is also theory that the Nothing is literally the black hole that we saw at the end of the End Live event, as black holes suck everything up, leaving nothing. And also, something interesting about the black hole is that around every minute, a random number would appear on the screen of the black hole, and these random numbers appearing were a code. All of them translating to "I was not alone, others were outside the loop, this was not calculated. The Nothing is now inevitable." The next time the Nothing were mentioned was in the Foundation and Batman comic. In the beginning, there was nothing, with nothing bolded. Then, in a burst of pure creation, the 0 point sprang into being. This armor has kept me alive in infinite realities, in the nothing beyond them. Now, Fortnite like to use the word nothing a lot, and mostly when they use it, it's kind of like a hint towards the nothing. Nothing stands in your way, and if it does, nothing a fishing trip can't cure. What happened here? There's nothing. I know it's pretty crazy, but there are many times where the Epic would say the word nothing, and it was meant as a hint for the Nothing. And unsurprisingly, most of the hints for the Nothing were in Chapter 3, Season 4. And oh, speaking of Chapter 3, Season 4...
Whoa! Starting to think this may be a problem.
Get out of here! That's rune!
Yes, so that's the scientist, the origin, and the visitor taken by the nothing. Well, the herald might be the one controlling the chrome, but remember who sent the herald to the island, and who rules over the army of the last reality. So yeah, chroming someone takes them to the nothing. And before these three, the nothing also took out the order, the foundation, and the imagined. And the nothing would also take out the paradigm a few months later during Zero Fusion. Now, it's obvious that Chapter 3 Season 4 had the worst live event, but the season itself is genuinely one of the most crucial seasons for the Fortnite storyline, as Season 4 Paradise was the season where we were thoroughly introduced to the nothing, where we actually spoke to the nothing by the Chrome TVs as bites, as the nothing was looking for a new true warrior for the last reality army. And again, the nothing had their eyes set on a bite.
You do not question who we are, or why we have chosen you. Is it because you already know?
So, the nothing stands out as a very mysterious and almost demonic sounding male being. And you would also notice that the nothing refer themselves as we, so that is very interesting. Now, the nothing is extremely, and I mean extremely good at manipulating people and making them think that they are doing the right thing. Like, listen to this.
You feel your identity slipping away. Do not resist. You will be rewarded. To continue past this point is to lose everything you knew and everything you were. Will you continue?
So when the nothing wants someone, they're gonna make sure to get them. And it's obvious that the nothing wants Bytes for his extreme ties with Chrome. And once the nothing has fully taken Byte will be working alongside with the Cube Queen and the Herald and other major warriors of the last reality in taking over realities and following the goal to leave nothing left.
You've finally let go. Good. Let us continue. This is your last chance. Proceed, and your fate will forever echo within hours. You made the right choice, but then again, you can't stop, can you? Your true journey begins now. Claim the ultimate prize.
This ultimate prize is the position of still standing alongside with the nothing when everything is gone. So losing everything just to be one of the last ones standing.
Be always vigilant. When we have need of you, you will be summoned.
To be honest, if you kind of think about it, the nothing is the main villain of Fortnite. And right now, all signs point at the nothing making a full-on return very soon, and make an attempt to take over us and Oninoshima, causing their wrath to continue, but I'll get into that in just a bit. Now, eventually, Fracture would come along, where the Herald would accidentally chrome herself and the entire island. Well, not even the entire island, the entire reality of Reality Zero, completely obliterating it. But that's when Paradigm uses the 0 point to create an entire new island using Zero Fusion. And that's when the Paradigm would just disappear. So yeah, every 7 member is now dormant, but AMIE, who is the scientist's personal AI, wanted to get the 7 back, and she actually suspected that they might be in the hands of of the Nothing, but to confirm she sent fragments of herself through rifts. And these rifts were set to where she thinks the Seven are. But when these AMIE fragments were redirected back to the island, oh boy, they had a lot of results to share. The Nothing, AMIE. That's what's darker than the worst fate imaginable. But yeah, the fragment pretty much confirms that the Seven were taken by the Nothing, and it is changing them as we speak, making them more corrupt and dark. And somehow the paradigm got taken by the Nothing too, as the fragment reveals they are all there. Also, the AMIE fragment kept saying he before they. And this is because AMIE cares way more about the scientists than the others. Yeah, it's just so obvious. But then AMIE transported her AI mind into a robotic body and set off to the dark place where the Seven were, so she can free them and prove her worthiness to the scientist. Also, in the same season, there was this really mysterious man named Rift Warden Stellan, and he was being followed, slowly corrupted by a shapeless man entity.
There is a being, a shapeless man. He watches us with dark purpose. If we do not finish the rift gate, the consequences will be terrible.
Now, at first, a lot of people did think that this shapeless man was the Nothing, but we still don't even know to this day. Because it could be Geno, or maybe even someone new. We actually never found out. But whoever it was, it really did mess up Stellan, so it could have been the Nothing or something a part of it. But again, we never found out for sure. Now, since then, we haven't heard anything from the Seven, AMIE, or Stellan. However, the Nothing is a bit of a different story. Back in Fortnite Remix, the main protagonist of 2024, Hope, revealed that she can see the future, but only by her graffiti.
So, turns out, my art can see the future. Well, no, wait. I can see the future, but it only shows up in my art.
And in that very same season, Hope doodled a broken TV. But if that's not enough for you all, she also graffitied a rainbow TV, but with an eye inside of it. And this is already enough to tell us that the Nothing will return soon. A little FYI, Hope also drew UFOs and Sloan. So Sloan will most likely return later on this chapter. But this video is not about Sloan, it's about the Nothing, who will most likely return very soon. Last Fortnite season, we were properly introduced to the Spirit Realm, which is where Onis and other evil entities lie. One of these evil entities being a demon named Shogun X. And this guy led the pack of the demons last season, also controlling the Night Rose. And if you have a sharp eye and look at Shogun X's head, you can see kind of a corrupted eye symbol, which we have seen very similar before, especially when looking at affiliations with the Nothing. Also, in the same season, there was this guy named Daigo, who held a very cursed legacy, as his ancestors used to make evil magic demonic masks, which ended up being used in the wrong hands and caused a lot of deaths and other bad events. And he actually had one of these specific masks locked up in his 1000 Faces store store, because Daigo likes to collect and make masks for himself, sometimes even adding demonic magic energy to them, just like his ancestors used. But then suddenly, one day, Daigo's sister Jade got trapped in the spirit realm, and to free her, Daigo would have to face Shogun X, and that's exactly what he did, eventually beating the crap out of him with his splinter blades, and sending all of his essence back to the spirit realm. And that's when Jade was freed, and the second she was out, she said this: "In the spirit realm, the demons tried to break me. They failed, but there is a dark presence in there. It has a plan, and it has the 0-point shard. It knew me, my family, and it wants us, all of us, but especially Daigo. My brothers, Daigo and Kendo, neither of them are strong enough to face what lies in the spirit realm." Speaking of Daigo, after he defeated Shogun X, somehow he got himself trapped in the spirit realm. I'm worried about Daigo. He's obsessed with the darkness he saw in the spirit realm. He thinks he alone can face it, but he's wrong. If he tries to face the heart of the darkness alone, he will lose. It will take him. So instead of leaving the spirit realm, Daigo decided to stay and face whatever extremely dark presence Jade is talking about. And well, I'm just straight up gonna say it right here. I think that this dark presence in the spirit realm is the Nothing. And this is most likely even the case. It's most likely that the Nothing is the darkness in the spirit realm that Daigo was obsessed with. Jade said that it will take him, and we know for a fact that the Nothing loves to take over people, especially when they have a talent like Bite with his chrome. And we know what's going on with the Seven right now. The Nothing is taking over them and corrupting them. And I'm not even joking when I'm saying this, the exact same thing will happen to Daigo. According to the files, some upcoming story quests will potentially involve fighting Daigo as a boss. The battle will have 3 waves, and he will also have the ability to defend, according to some tags. So it's obvious that something has taken over Daigo and fully corrupted his mind, turning him into a villain, and that is something exactly what the Nothing would do. But tell me, why would the Nothing want Daigo? Well, that's a simple question with a simple answer. His mask-making skills. And also the fact that his family has had an extremely impactful history as well. So it really would make sense for the Nothing to take over him. Also, for the first 3 weeks of this season, the big mask that was in Daigo's shop went missing. Now for it to just be in Daigo's hideout in Masked Meadows. And it's actually next to some Fletcher Kane gold, and we do also know for a fact Fletcher and his Alpha Company stole from Daigo's shop, stealing many masks for their henchmen. All of this going on whilst Daigo's mind is slowly being corrupted by this dark presence inside of the spirit realm. This dark presence most likely being the Nothing or a part of it. So maybe the dark presence is this survey skin right here, who obviously looks like someone who would be heavily affiliated with the Nothing and the last reality. Or this might just be someone else corrupted by the Nothing. But as of now, it's unknown. And unknown is also a word that Fortnite like to use a lot.
Your lack of fear is encouraging. Are you willing to give yourself to the unknown?
The power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies have taken notice. You must brave the unknown.
With even the heralds having a lobby track called The Unknown Reality. So there's the everything, which is the 0 point, the nothing, which is of course the nothing, the thing that was before everything, and the unknown, which I believe is affiliated with the nothing. So Bite gave himself to the unknown. However, Daigo, the Seven, and AMIE were taken by this unknown, which is also the unknown part of the nothing. But think about it. If Daigo has been corrupted by most likely the nothing, and he's literally coming back soon, as a corrupted villain, then why can't the corrupted Seven or AMIE come to the game, with maybe the scientist coming back as the long-awaited general. And I just know there's gonna be some of you 7 fans saying, no, this is not going to happen, the 7 are never going to return. And well, maybe you're correct, but out of all times, now is the best time for the 7 to return. And I mean like the best time. It would make perfect sense. And like I predicted last year, I honestly do think that the 7 will return later on this chapter. Also, it has been confirmed that voice lines will return later on this season, so maybe they could be audio logs from the 7. But we don't know, though what we do know, that this dark presence in the spirit realm that Jade told us about and has so far taken Daigo is most likely the infamous Nothing. Also, right now, Jones and the Nitros are at Demon's Dojo, where they're trying to figure out stuff about the Zero Shard and if there's more than one. But the Nitros keep saying that there's just like some uncomfortable feeling about all of it, though it's probably just nothing. And if we do see the Nothing make a return, then we might also see Bite make a return too. But this time with a more dangerous look. Because remember, the last reality must do everything they can to make sure they are the last reality, until then nothing is left. And why should this goal be interrupted? So I do believe that the Nothing will try to take over on Enoshima later on this chapter. Because all the dots connect together, and why wouldn't they? As remember, they must continue.
You feel your identity slipping away. Do not resist. You will be rewarded. To continue past this point is to lose everything you knew and everything you were. Will you continue?
So yeah, that was my long ass video explaining how the Nothing could tie in with the future of Fortnite Chapter 6, and how it could bring back Daigo and the 7. But if you enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And why not join my Fortnite Discord server? The link is down in the description below. But just remember,